Okay, guys. So, um, you can please mute yourself. Thank you. So this is our final book meeting. Uh, and we're going to talk about the um the end of the story, and we're going to share why do we what is our feeling to this book, and maybe we can talk about several characters in the in this book. So I'm going to start first. So the reason why I love this book is because in the very beginning it's really hard for me to go through since I'm not a native speaker. I mean I'm not having English as my native language, and this book is kind of complex in linguistic work. Um, However, after I go through like 40 pages, I feels like I really get into it. So the really interesting point in this book is that um, Fleur actually did not fulfill her revenge plan because like after having a relationship or after approaching to Bowser, she started to be attracted by material world. So this is quite uh realistic. I would say Mondoon. Yeah. So another point is that Mauser did the same. Like the he he did some stupid things for Flora. So that is very interesting because um people will be enslaved by their desire, and their original plan will be destructed. That is very realistic. And this story um remind me somehow the Great Gatsby. I actually search something in the internet to say if there is some opinion same. So yeah, like there are few people have the same idea. So you know, because it talks about like how great it is in the beginning, and how the dream fell down. So yeah, that is why I kind of like the plots, and I feel the most exciting plot is in the end, like um like the Flora win her land by a poker game. That is very exciting and a little bit you know exciting because you have no idea if she will win. It makes me really want to go through the next pages. But my English is not that well, so I have to follow words by words. Yeah. Does anyone also want to talk about the plot?
Yeah, I would like to first summarize the last plot and then share my opinion about this book. So during the last time, actually Flores uh, gained a maybe happy ending, but with some uh, bad feelings. Even though Flores win the course, the judgment about the monsters who have stolen the land, the nature of Flora's hometown. Even though the Flora wins the battle against the monsters and gain back their nature land and properties, however, flowers actually lose a kind of happiness or a kind of belonging, a kind of love, because the broken out of the relationship between the flowers and the mountains. So flowers actually feel a little bit losing. So it actually get a kind of mental disease. So there's another character at the end of the paragraph aim to help the flowers to overcome this the the trough of her life, and the flowers also getting older, and she has a little kids to raise, so it became a burden to him when he later came back to the place where he was born, the original place where she come from. So that is the end of story. Even though uh, to flowers is a kind of happy ending, however, to this romantic love is actually a bad ending. So I really like this kind of plot that that creates both sides for people to viewing the and judging the end of the story. And many people have different aspect toward this. Well, in my personal feelings, to me, I am really care about the emotions. I think flowers actually lose a romantic love. It's really not a good choice for her to fight for her land and property. I think it's better for her to make a agreement or contract between the monsters. I think it can be a better ending if Flores and Mouser make a negotiation and stop, and Flora use his relationship between Mousers to stop Mousers uh, exact from exacting from executing the land or destroy the nature is a better way for her to do that.
I'm sorry, Lou. I think your internet is disconnected. Can you guys hear him?
Now, in my computer, he was stuck too.
Oh, okay,
So
Lou, you may
maybe
come here too.
maybe I can say some of my opinions first.
Uh-huh.
Then Lou will continue his opinion. So from my perspective, I kind of like stories that have a specific main line. These stories, we all know that it's about the revenge. But even if I read the whole stories down, I still kind of get confused because I may not get into the stories deep as you guys. Well, I would like to talk about the end of the story since I don't get exactly what the middle parts are talking about. Um, Flora was forced to get extreme ways for love, not either for love or for those hate. She was trapped by those souls to like control like a doll or kind of like a machine. Flora was used to complete their tasks. But finally, when she has complete her, finally when she has completed her goals, she was finally admitted by those souls, and those souls admitted that she was once have been to this earth before. Uh, her meaning of her meaning that she has once existed in this world. Um, this the ending of the story was not that kind of exciting or so fascinating. I mean, not so exploding my mind, but it's used kind of way that it calms down the readers. Let those readers know that uh, she wasn't having that kind of bad ending at last. She has becoming, she has back to the peace at the end. Uh, that wasn't so bad. So that's my feeling.
Yeah, thank you, Mason. While you know, I would say, yeah, like the previous plot is kind of, you know, uh, sometimes it's dramatic, sometimes it's flat. I would say flat. Simon, do you have something to say?
Yeah, uh, I will uh, say that in the beginning, the Flora uh, really wanted to revenge, but in the ending, she did not revenge. That's surprising, and she just back to the future and lived in the forest. Uh, in my opinion, I like this story because it's wonderful. Uh, yeah, and there are many twists in the story, such as uh, the revenge of the Flora, uh, and it's a little. It's kind of difficult for me to read the story because the language. And I think I will read more story like this. Uh, yeah, that's it.
Um, thank you. Lou, can you hear us? Or yeah, we can see it right now. Do you have something to?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another thing I would like to talk about in this story is that this book actually combine a lot of cultural or native continents or styles into the storytelling. Actually, it contains such as cultural bias that is using the aspect from the floras. People from India, America came to these the cities to demonstrate this story. Also, all the floors movement, such as doing laundry, or the way he behaved, or 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 other floor thinking actually totally match the character of Florence, and it's also depict a woman that is really a, uh, a little bit kind-hearted and doing housework and really traditional and being cultural. I think the author is really good at develop the characters in this story.
Yeah, thank you. So now we may do you guys want to talk about, yeah, I mean the personality of each characters. So I want to kind of start first. So I want to talk about, you know, I don't know if you guys noticed that Margaret and wait a second, what is his name? Uh, Nana Pash, I think is his husband name. So Margaret and his husband is kind of, weird and dramatic. Um, However, I feels like um, Nana Push is uh really responsible to something because like after being caught by uh wait a second, how do we say that word? Yeah, nun or sister. After being caught by nuns, he knows that he have to host the conference. So even though he's being caught, he escaped and uh, he's dressed in the weird, weird uniform made by Margaret to host the conference. So, but however, I feel like Margaret is not only um, kind of. I personally I feel like he's kind of weird. She's kind of weird, but I also feels like this couple, um, though confronted many disputes and arguments or conflicts, their end is relatively positive. So yeah, that's my perception of this couple. Does anyone want to talk about more about other characters?
Um, well, for me, I would like to talk about Mausers. There's a one interesting I really want to tell is that Mausers, the manager of the colonies, the people who stole the
Sorry, Lou, you're frozen again. No, I can't. I can't hear you. Uh, you can come here. Can come to my laptop and talk. uh, okay. Let me just start again. Well, another thing interesting I would like to talk is Mausers. Mausers is actually the manager of the colonies people who also stole their first hometowns natural uh, natural money property all those stuffs. However, his life is actually miserable during this moment. Actually, so it's actually make a great comparison between between the characteristic of Moses and what he have done. So I think it's really interesting for the authors to create this kind of humorous character in this story. I also consider that monsters believe love is more important than any other things. Since when the flowers want to kill him, even though monsters notice that, however, monsters still believe that his relationship, his love between the flowers is actually worthy for for her to do that, and he even didn't worry about about that. Okay, that is my comment. Yeah. I mean, thank you, Lou. that's the situation. Thank you, Lou. How about you, Mason or Simon? Do you guys want to talk about the characters and their personality? Can you guys
Not
hear me?
kind of actually.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Not kind of. I mean, characters. All of them are too. I mean, so confusing to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
which
not
one? We
talk
we
that
can
much.
talk about it. Yeah, which one? Flora,
No,
Mouser.
Flora. Flora. Well, for the whole stories, she was just like a machine that follows the rules and commands.
Mm-hmm.
She was trapped by those four souls, like making a medicine that will let you see those phantoms. Just follow those orders. But what did she get at the end of story? Still, I think she kind of get nothing at the end, but she was only released of this revenge game. Her personalities, well, she was so tough. I think uh, any four of us, if are the main character of Four Souls, we can't bear the life she had experienced. Even though she still lives, she has mind. Uh, she was fill out of orders, but she still getting this kind of experience. Uh, we can't even imagine that how can she survive in this kind of environment. But that's what I inspired. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I would say Flora, this character is very realistic under a real situation because can you guys hear me? Yeah, because in a very real situation, I mean, in that role or character, you, I mean, you can't really do something astonishing or um, dramatic. So that is kind of real. But in addition to that, as you said, it is very tough. She's very tough. So that is one of her characteristics. So yeah, thank you guys for oh wait, I thought that the meeting will be closed because we only have 40 minutes. Anyway, so I will say thank you guys for having 4 blocks books meeting, and I think we're doing a great job uh at this point. Even if we kind of miss the assignments. So after I stop recording it, I will submit the assignment to the Canvas. And thank you guys.
Do we still have Yang's class?
Yeah, we will have this class.